The bonobo, Pan paniscus, also historically called the pygmy chimpanzee and less often, the dwarf or gracile chimpanzee, is an endangered great ape and one of the two species making up the genus Pan, the other being the common chimpanzee, Pan troglodytes. Although bonobos are not a subspecies of chimpanzee, Pan troglodytes, but rather a distinct species in their own right, both species are sometimes referred to collectively using the generalized term chimpanzees, or chimps. Taxonomically, the members of the chimpanzee bonobo subtribe Panina, composed entirely by the genus Pan, are collectively termed panins. The bonobo is distinguished by relatively long legs, pink lips, dark face, tail tuft through adulthood, and parted long hair on its head. The bonobo is found in a 500,000 square kilometers area of the Congo Basin in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Central Africa. The species is omnivorous and inhabits primary and secondary forests, including seasonally inundated swamp forests. Because of political instability in the region and the timidity of bonobos, there has been relatively little field work done observing the species in its natural habitat. Along with the common chimpanzee, the bonobo is the closest extant relative to humans. As the two species are not proficient swimmers, the formation of the Congo River 1.5 to 2 million years ago possibly led to the speciation of the bonobo. Bonobos live south of the river, and thereby were separated from the ancestors of the common chimpanzee, which live north of the river. There are no concrete data on population numbers, but the estimate is between 29,500 and 50,000 individuals. The species is listed as endangered on the IUCN Red List and is threatened by habitat destruction and human population growth and movement, though commercial poaching is the most prominent threat. Bonobos typically live 40 years in captivity. Their lifespan in the wild is unknown, but it is almost certainly much shorter. Description: the bonobo is commonly considered to be more gracile than the common chimpanzee. Although large male chimpanzees can exceed any bonobo in bulk and weight, the two species actually broadly overlap in body size. Adult female bonobos are somewhat smaller than adult males. Body mass in males ranges from 34 to 60 kilograms, against an average of 30 kilograms in females. The total length of bonobos, from the nose to the rump while on all fours, is 70 to 83 centimeters. When adult bonobos and chimpanzees stand up on their legs, they can both attain a height of 115 centimeters. The bonobo's head is relatively smaller than that of the common chimpanzee, with less prominent brow ridges above the eyes. It has a black face with pink lips, small ears, wide nostrils, and long hair on its head that forms a parting. Females have slightly more prominent breasts, in contrast to the flat breasts of other female apes, although not so prominent as those of humans. The bonobo also has a slim upper body, narrow shoulders, thin neck, and long legs when compared to the common chimpanzee. Bonobos are both terrestrial and arboreal. Most ground locomotion is characterized by quadrupedal knuckle walking. Bipedal walking has been recorded as less than 1% of terrestrial locomotion in the wild, a figure that decreased with habituation, while in captivity there is a wide variation. Bipedal walking in captivity, as a percentage of bipedal plus quadrupedal locomotion bouts, has been observed from 3.9% for spontaneous bouts to nearly 19% when abundant food is provided. These physical characteristics and its posture give the bonobo an appearance more closely resembling that of humans than the common chimpanzee does. The bonobo also has highly individuated facial features, as humans do, so that one individual may look significantly different from another, a characteristic adapted for visual facial recognition in social interaction. Multivariate analysis has shown bonobos are more neotenized than the common chimpanzee, taking into account such features as the proportionately long torso length of the bonobo. Other researchers challenge this conclusion. Behavior. Primatologist Franz de Waal states bonobos are capable of altruism, compassion, empathy, kindness, patience, and sensitivity, and described bonobo society as a gynecocracy. Primatologists who have studied bonobos in the wild have documented a wide range of behaviors, including aggressive behavior and more cyclic sexual behavior similar to chimpanzees, even though bonobos show more sexual behavior in a greater variety of relationships. An analysis of female bonding among wild bonobos by Takeshi Furuichi stresses female sexuality and shows how female bonobos spend much more time in estrus than female chimpanzees. Some primatologists have argued that de Waal's data reflect only the behavior of captive bonobos, suggesting that wild bonobos show levels of aggression closer to what is found among chimpanzees. De Waal has responded that the contrast in temperament between bonobos and chimpanzees observed in captivity is meaningful, because it controls for the influence of environment. The two species behave quite differently even if kept under identical conditions. A 2014 study also found bonobos to be less aggressive than chimpanzees, particularly eastern chimpanzees. The authors argued that the relative peacefulness of western chimpanzees and bonobos was primarily due to ecological factors. Bonobos warn each other of danger less efficiently than chimpanzees in the same situation. Thanks for watching.
Bonobos are also very intelligent, and their communication includes a series of sounds that other monkeys have to interpret based on the current environment. In fact, the same sounds can mean many things depending on the context. They also use hand gestures to convey meaning. There are examples of bonobos using these signals to communicate with humans. Unlike most species of great apes, bonobos live in a matrilineal society where a select group of females has the oldest, the final say on where the group moves when they eat and other important decisions. And despite the matrilineal nature of their culture, each society usually has a male alpha one protects the group. Many mothers interfere in their children's personal lives, but few take drastic measures. This is also what happens in the animal world, where bonobo mothers, pygmy chimpanzees, choose fertile females for their adult children. This strong-willed mother chimpanzee also forbids other males from approaching ovulatory females to give her offspring an advantage, according to a new study. This behavior may seem a little arrogant, but, as the researchers say, it is very effective, as it triples the son's chance of having his own offspring. This is the first time we can show the effect of the presence of a mother on a very important feature of male fitness, which is their fertility, said senior researcher at the Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology in Berlin, Martin Siebeck. We were surprised that mothers had such a strong and direct effect on the number of descendants they had. They will be born. The independent newspaper indicated that bonobos enjoy a matrilineal society in which females can use their rank to give their offspring access to the best positions in social groups, which also helps them achieve a higher status. According to the research published in the journal Current Biology, the female offspring are simply left to fend for themselves, while the offspring remain under the care of the mother. The researchers monitored these sightings in communities of wild bonobos, the closest animals to humans, in the Democratic Republic of the Congo and in groups of wild chimpanzees also in the Ivory Coast, Tanzania, and Uganda. In these two societies, bonobo mothers and chimpanzees support their sons in conflicts between males, but only bonobo mothers support their sons in finding future wives. The researchers say that such interactions are rare in chimpanzee societies because males dominate females, which means that chimpanzee mothers are less powerful than bonobo mothers.